Hello. Oh my god. See if I can just show you this crazy fucking tide that's happening right now. Like that is, it's right up to the wall and it keeps spraying over the wall. It's mad. Madness, I tell you. And I used to live just down that side, like that end of this beach, and we would get like the salt water just like spraying up at like over our balcony. Destroyed all of our plants, like, but you know. But it was beautiful. So yeah, Jersey is quite a beautiful place. Even in this crazy fucking windy ass grey weather, this tide is mental. And I just was walking the dog. On Tuesdays we have our cleaner come round and she does a couple of hours for us. So here's Heinzie. Hey Heinzie. So I always kind of leave the house for a couple of hours while she's beavering away, and Heinz and I go for a walk, and sometimes we're going to get coffee. And today we went for a walk, and as I was driving out of the place where we were walking, I could just see these waves crashing up, and I was like, fuck, I have to go and sit there. That looks amazing. Sort this lighting out. It's a bit better. You're balanced on my steering wheel, people, and I hope you appreciate the lengths I've gone to make this live stream, so you can actually see my face. I remembered that my steering wheel, I can move it up and down. So I've moved my steering wheel for you. I hope you appreciate the hard work I've gone to. So we're going to talk about receptivity today. This morning I noticed... This happens to me on a regular basis and I hadn't really noticed it. I might have had like a little awareness, but today I felt like I became acutely aware of this particular pattern. So I asked my friend for some advice because he's like a genius with something that I wanted some advice on. He's a genius about many things, but this thing in particular. And I asked him for some advice, and then I went away, and when I came back to my phone I had like 3 or 4 voice messages, a load of links and stuff, and I was like, whoa, that's really cool. Like, he's not just like gone, yeah, I'll get back to you later. Like, he's literally just like woken up and then just given me all this information, which is so fucking cool. And because I'm naturally just very creative, in as much as I have like a bajillion ideas like this, like once I have one idea, I can see how this one thing that I could create could like go into so many different places, you know, where it could be applied, how it could be marketed, the bonuses that could go with it, you know, like extra gifts and things that I could do. And it's a lot, I won't lie. Like sometimes my brain is so fucking full of ideas that it'd be very easy to not get anything done. And it's funny when I say that, because I'm thinking like level 2 of the spiral, I took my clients through that last week, and so it's kind of, they'll be coming into level 3 this week. And level 2 is creativity, and it's in the sacral chakra, and I am a manifesting generator in human design. I have sacral authority, so that's pretty much where my life is led, from my sacral. So it's a very powerful area in my energetic field and in my physical body. And creativity is a big part of who I am. So when I think about the amount of ideas that I have on a daily basis, when I don't feel inspired or when I don't have a lot of creative ideas, I feel really stagnant. I always feel a bit depressed, like there's something wrong. And that can happen, you know, I can literally shut my creativity down subconsciously because of this fear of becoming overwhelmed by so many ideas. And I am yet to find a balance. I'm not going to even pretend that I've got this figured out, right? I am yet to find a balance between, hey Eva, nice to have you live again, lover. Yeah, I'm yet to find a balance between bringing, like having the ideas, allowing myself to have as many ideas as I want, feeling really inspired, implementing the level of support that I really need in order to bring these dreams to life. And also understanding that part of my genius is having lots of ideas, maybe starting even all of them a little bit, and then just letting things fall away when they no longer align. And that's been, I don't want to perpetuate a story of struggle, so I'm going to be careful of the spell that I weave with my words here. I am aware how in the past that has flipped my overwhelm switch in my brain and made me just go, woo! It's made me feel like a failure in the past. It's made me feel like I'm really difficult to work with, because, you know, this is just the deal, right? If you work for me, if you're one of my team, whatever you're doing, there are going to be projects that I start and you do a bit of work on, and then I don't come back to them. And, you know, you still get paid, you know, but there are things that I don't, and what will happen sometimes is I'll start a project and then I'll kind of lose interest in it, go and do something else, and then I'll loop back round, and that project that I started a while ago suddenly becomes, it has like a new energy around it, and so I'll even see it to completion. But it's really about allowing myself to not buy into a story that I have to be somehow linear, strategic, dependable, you know, like predictable. That's not who I am. And the more that I own my kind of mercurial personality and ability to just create 800 things and have ideas and likely get systems and grow my team so that I have even more people that I can, you know, outsource stuff to, the more I allow myself to be in acceptance of those parts of who I am, and that's just how it is, and stop trying to fit myself into, and I see my clients do this as well, obviously, because, you know, they're mirrors of me, we all are mirrors of each other. The more I try to, what do I want to say here? I'm very good at taking self-responsibility for my shit. What that can mean is that I take so much responsibility for my own stuff that I almost attempt to mindset and energetically hack myself so that I fit into what someone else needs me to be in order to make me more palatable or more easy to work with, right? But that's just not who I am. And the more I try and curb that, and the more I use my tools and my gifts against myself, you know, like, I want to be constantly stepping more into who I am, not more into who I think other people need me to be. And this is a trick that we can play on ourselves when we're particularly good at using self-reflection, using mirror work, taking self-responsibility, particularly when we're like really good at seeing things from lots of different points of view. We can get really good at like spiritually bypassing who we are. And the great thing about level 3 of the spiral is that you come through that creativity, you come through that tribe and belonging, where do I fit in the hierarchy and all that stuff. And you come into level 3, which is the solar plexus, and you start to look at, actually, now that I understand my place in the tribe, and I understand the role tribe can play in my life, now I'm also able to feel empowered around who am I as an individual. And the more I step into who I am as an individual and what I am as an individual and what I bring to the table as an individual, the more I can understand how I can benefit the tribe, you know. So it's really not about shoehorning or manipulating yourself into trying to be more palatable for other people. And I do still do it. I particularly do it now much better than I used to be, let's be honest. You know, when I show up in my business, I'm doing live streams, when I write my content, I don't think about that stuff at all. I just go with whatever comes through me. But the areas that it shows up for me are either romantic relationships, sometimes friendships, but a big one is like with the people that I have employed to support me. Like, I can definitely feel myself when I'm communicating with them, like holding back sometimes. And so I'm really challenging myself now to just be the crazy, scatterbrained, mercurial, you know, rolling with the tide of my own crazy subconscious creative whims. I'm allowing myself to be that person more and more with them, But then there also is a piece of trust, right? When you're employing people and you're building a team, you also, for me certainly, because I know that with my manifesting generator creator brain, I can see where we're going, and I can see like 10 steps down the line, and I have to find a way to almost like, it feels like I have to find a way to slow myself down to communicate the steps to get people to where I want them. But I think actually what I'm learning these days is that when I speak from my sacral, when I speak about what I want from that place, and I allow that to be, when I allow myself to not like have to be bullet pointed or have to make it like really linear for them, their gifts are in translating my crazy like knotted ball of string brain of many ideas. Their gifts, and part of what I employ them for and what they're here to help me with, is to make linear sense of, and structural systematic sense of what is coming out of my brain, because that's not my zone of genius. I'm a visionary. I'm a fucking, you know, like that. I see the big picture. I get excited about the big picture, and that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to get people excited about the big picture, and so that they can see where their role is within bringing that thing to life. That's what I'm here for, is to generate that energy so that the people who work for me and who come on board with me, and also the people who come and work, you know, with me as clients, I feel like I'm really good at holding that vision for them when they forget what their vision was, and when they're in like the kind of quagmire of self-doubt and like, oh why am I whoa, fuck, the massive wave just crashed up, fuck, like right in front of the car. That was so cool. My car is not going to enjoy being doused in seawater, however, so let's hope it rains and like washes the seawater off my car. We're getting the hose out when I get home. My beautiful car must not be damaged. I love him. Anyway, where was I before I got massively distracted by beautiful big wave vibes? I don't know. Who cares? You know, the ocean will do what it will do. Hey, Kasha, nice to see you. So yeah, it's really about understanding like, what is your role when it comes to a team? Like, are you a leader? Are you a visionary? Are you holding the point of the vision for people? Oh, and that's what I was saying, that when clients come and work with me and they forget their big vision because they're in that quagmire of self-doubt and I'm a failure and oh my God, it's too much work and blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm that point that reminds them of, like, I hold the frequency of what's possible for them. I'm like, you're here because you know you're meant for so much more, and you know you're meant to be creating so much more magic in the world, and you know it's meant to be so much easier than you're making it. And it's often just by having me being able to reflect that back to them that kind of reignites in them the ability to like go, okay, cool, you're right. What's the next step? So it's almost like I'm like their grounding pin sometimes, to just remind them of, bizarrely, they're like, even though the big vision's like up here, I think working with me is like a combination of being connected to the bigger vision whilst also having someone to anchor you back into the now, anchor you back into what feels good right now. And of course, this is something that, you know, is a journey for me as well, which is why I'm so good at helping other people with it, because I can spot it, because it's a reflection of what happens in my own field. But I feel it happen all the time. And what dawned on me today, and the reason that I titled this live stream what I did, was because today when my friend sent me all that information, my first thought was like, wow, this is so cool, I've got all this information. And then my second thought was, fuck, like, I don't know if I've got the time, I don't know if I've got the resources, I don't know if I've got the bandwidth to deal with this, I don't know, and I started like, it flicked a switch in my brain that was almost like, I can't receive this much, because it's like my heart is trying to control how much energy it allows in, how much support, how much love, because it's almost like when I allow in more, I can't control it. And so, you know, as a recovering control addict, who was one of my beautiful clients, I mean, I'm stealing this phrase because I love it. She says she's not a control freak, she's a control enthusiast. And I particularly enjoy that phrase, so I'm having that. Thank you very much. You know who you are. But you know, I'm a control enthusiast, a recovering control freak, and energetically, like logically, I'm like, yeah, let's do all the things. Energetically, emotionally, my heart, my body just like, contracts and like almost like grabs the hose of abundance the universe is trying to spray upon me and just goes, no, it's too much. And so something that I am journeying with today, and I imagine for a few days and maybe even weeks, to really like assimilate and allow my nervous system to recalibrate to what is actually coming for me, basically, in terms of what I am here to receive. Ooh. Oh. Yeah. Is that a lot of the time, well, all of the time, really, everything we want is available to us, and it's available right now. And we'll hear this a lot from like law of attraction peeps. But I think sometimes what we don't realize is that we're looking for, how am I blocking it, right? How am I blocking it with my thoughts, with my beliefs, blah, blah, blah. But for me, I certainly, and I see this with clients as well, it's almost like we can do all the mindset work, we can do all the logical, we can do all the journaling, we can be like, aha, have all the aha moments. But then the next step of integrating and actually allowing ourselves to receive and embody the learning is to actually receive and to see what happens in our bodies when someone gives us a gift or pays us a compliment or does something really nice for us. And it's been happening to me more and more and more. Like my beautiful past client and current friend Vamp, like fitness, if you follow her on Instagram, you'll have seen like we share each other stuff all the time because we just have like this mutual love of the products that each other create, basically. But she did something that was really just very abundant the other day and shared my links for something she was not an affiliate, I hadn't asked her, I didn't know she was going to do it, and she put it on her website, and I was just like, whoa, like, and I could feel this thing happening inside of me, like, how do I pay her back? How do I? And she was just like, don't, just bathe in it, just enjoy it. Like, you taught me that. You taught me. She was saying that I taught her that the more we receive, the more we get to receive, and the more good stuff that happens to us. So just bloody receive it and enjoy it. And I was like, fuck, you're right. Damn it, getting schooled by my own fucking clients. But I'm so used to giving and supporting that when it comes to receiving, sometimes I forget that I'm allowed to just lean back and allow the universe to deliver stuff to me. And there's not always something that I have to do in return. And there's not always something that I have to do in ever. Like with certain things, like there's not actually anything that needs to be done other than to lean back, allow myself to receive. So my question that I pose to you today, the task, the challenge for you is, when someone gives you something, when somebody wants to pay you a compliment, pay you for your services, when somebody wants to support you in your business or in your relationship, when someone wants to take a freaking chore off of your hands and do it for you, when you ask someone to do something and they go above and beyond and deliver way more than you thought was possible, or way more than you would ever have had the audacity to ask for. That's the real clincher for me. It's like when I ask somebody for something and then I already have that, like, I'm asking someone for something and I already have the discomfort of like, I'm going to breathe through that and I'm going to ask them for something. And then not only do they give me what I wanted, but they go above and beyond and give me way more stuff I didn't even know I wanted or needed. And yet there they are, swooping in to provide it for me and expecting nothing in return. Even saying it, I can feel my body like going, I don't know how to cope with that. And this for me is the next piece. This is, my body is telling me there is something here for me. And I'm so grateful that I've done the amount of work I have on reconnecting with my body and reconnecting with my sacral through processes like the spiral, through going on retreats and things and doing like somatic release work and working with like self-pleasure and sex magic and ritual and all this kind of stuff. Like, if I hadn't have allowed myself to really dig deep into those things in my own way and really reconnect with what my body's wisdom is actually communicating to me, then I'd be missing this gold, and I could very easily become someone who gets stuck in a struggle story around, things are so hard, the universe doesn't want to give things to me, I always have to work so much harder than everyone else to get stuff. It's like, no, you actually don't. The work is not in the journaling sometimes. The work is often, when people get to me, they're usually pretty good with the journaling and stuff, you know. And it's like, the work that I really love these days is kind of just holding that permission field for people to go in and just feel what they're feeling without judging it. And understanding that when we really feel our feelings, there's so much wisdom in that. And just holding that energy, not holding it like contracting, but just being able to hold and feel and process that energy in the body and letting it ripple through all of the cells of our being and into our energetic field, our energetic body, our emotional body, our physical cells in our physical body. When we actually allow ourselves to be with whatever is alive for us, we really give ourselves the opportunity to be open to receiving more from the external world as well. So my top tip for receptivity is just become so aware of what's happening in your physical body when somebody wants to give something to you, and notice like where you are stemming the flow of receptivity, because somehow it's tripping a switch in your brain that's like, I've got to control how much comes in, because if I don't control how much comes in, I'll become overwhelmed. I'll no longer be in control of my life. Hey Justin, nice to see you, Babe Town. Yeah, so you know, it's like when you're receiving, when you actually think about anything, if you want money, if you want clients, if you want love, if you're looking for support and building a team in your business like I'm doing right now, it's like when you feel that stuff actually coming to you and you feel it entering your heart space, are you able to just lean back and be like, oh, it feels so good to be so supported? Or do you do what I did today and kind of go, oh, fuck, it's too much. I'm so overwhelmed. Oh my God, I don't know what to do. And it's like, what are you fucking talking about? You've got people literally saying to you, I can support you with this. So when you're ready, let me know. And in this new timeline that we're in this new paradigm, it's no longer about intellectualizing. I was saying this to my business coven people yesterday. I dropped them like an audio truth bomb, Noli nugget, as I do with them constantly. They're just bombarded with like the Noli wisdom. Come and join us in the coven. Our next call's on Thursday. Get your ass in there. Anyway, that's my plug for the day. So I was saying to them, like, I went into a bit more depth, but the long and the short of it was, in this new paradigm, it's like we're used to our intellect having to intellectually understand everything on a logical level and be able to explain it using the mind and our words and lay it out for people in a structured, strategic, simple way. We're used to having to articulate how we feel and what's going on and what we're processing. And actually, things move so fucking fast in this new timeline. We don't have time for that. It's like the energy is moving and you better fucking get used to being in the rapids, because shit wants to move fast for you. It wants to move so fucking fast, and the only thing slowing it down is your inability to receive and lean back into the flow of your life. Trust me, I know, I feel it too, and it freaks the living fuck out of me, because I'm still convinced on some level that I need some kind of clarity about what the final destination is. It's like I feel like I'm like in the rapids, I'm in my canoe and I feel safe in the canoe. It's good, it's not going to tip over, but I'm like, fuck, I don't know where I'm going. And I literally and I can't slow the fucking canoe down. It's just flying at a rate of knots. And all I can do is just put my hands up and be like, okay, let you take, oh, yippee, there we go. Ah! Stop it, phone. Stop doing that. Yeah, you just got to kind of throw your hands in the air and be like, okay, this is happening. And there has to be this trust in the divine, this trust in yourself, this trust that actually, for all the years that we have been asking, including myself, right, that we have been asking for things to be easier, for us to have to do less yet reap more rewards, for things to speed up, for things to manifest faster, to not have to go through all these fucking massive manifestation processes and clearing and decluttering our energetic fields and blah, blah, blah. It's like, we don't actually have to do that anymore. And yet we're still kind of like, part of us is still locked into this old paradigm where things are fucking hard and we had to figure everything out with our intellect. But I'm not saying there's no place for the intellect here, but I'm saying that our use of it gets to be different. We no longer have to explain ourselves in the same way that we did before. We no longer have to plan in the same way that we did before. But how open are you to receiving, really? When the support comes, when the love comes, when the money, the clients, the body, the attention, the respect, the recognition, the opportunities, when it all comes, how receptive are you? How ready are you? And I don't mean ready like got your systems in place and your boxes ticked and your I's dotted and your T's crossed and all that shit. I mean, how ready are you energetically to just fucking decide like this and go with the flow of your own life? That's the hard part for me. But I'm learning, bitches. I'm learning. I'm supporting people through it. I'm seeing it happen for my clients as well. Just kind of crazy stuff just happens and they're like, I don't know what to do, this feels too easy. And I'm like, then it's right. If it feels too easy, then it's definitely right. Say yes, do the thing, let's go. But yeah, this is what's happening. This is where we're shifting, right? Things are actually getting as easy as we wanted them to be, and now we just have to allow ourselves to reap the fucking rewards. It's almost like, I've been training at the gym for, I've been training pretty solidly for about a year now, with a little break during the old lockdown. I didn't really do a lot then. But it's like my body has changed, my fitness has changed, my technique in Muay Thai has changed. So when someone said to me yesterday, wow, your transformation has been huge. I've never seen someone, I can't remember his exact words, but he basically said something like, I've never seen somebody get so much better so quickly and change so quickly since the last time I saw you, like with my technique and the weight loss and whatever. And he was like, you just look so fit and you know what you're doing. And I'm like, okay, thank you. And like, I really took the time to receive it. But there was this part of me that was like, as much as I know I've done the work, I enjoyed the process so much that there was still a part of me that was like, people are noticing. People are noticing the difference in the way that I look, in the way that I'm training, in my technique. Yeah, I've put the work in, but I've been putting it in for like a while now. Yet it's only now that I'm actually open and available to receiving those compliments, to receiving that recognition, that acknowledgement. So maybe it's not about another journal prompt. Maybe it's actually about just sitting with what's alive for you right now, looking around you and noticing where what you've been asking for is currently showing up for you, but your inability to receive and actually just like lean back and allow and open your heart and just be in the divine flow of your life. Like, your need to control and hold on. And my beautiful friend Michelle was saying, like, we're entering metal season, and metal as the element of metal is all about letting go. So it's really fascinating to me that this stuff has started showing up for me. It's like we're really we're coming into that time of the year now. We're entering into metal, which means we are entering into a phase where our ability to receive and manifest is going to be grounded in our ability to let go and receive. So it's pretty fucking cool. It's scary that it's hard for you, because that makes me think, what chances do I have with this receiving? Oh, Eva, well, you're gonna come and work with me anyway. We both know this. And I don't want you to think like it's hard for me. Like, it's not hard. It's actually really fucking easy. It's just like I've been saying in this live stream, it's like, how easy am I willing to let it be? And I think up until this point, ease for me has been about saying yes to doing the things that I want to do and no to the things that I don't. And now what's happening is that because I've locked that shit in, and that's just who I am on the daily, and I literally couldn't be any other way, because where the fuck would you want to be? Now that that's integrated, this is just the next level for me, right? So wherever you are, Your next level will look different, it will feel different, it will be different to mine because we're different people, right? But it's really just about understanding that when you allow yourself to let go, that's when you're really open to receiving. And great ways for doing this are, I really recommend tuning into new potentials, the meditation by Joe Dispenza. If you haven't already downloaded my free meditation, go to my website, www.georginaknoll.com, and you'll get a pop-up box that will say, would you like this meditation? Sign up for that meditation, download it. You can unsubscribe from my mailing list straight away if you want to. I don't give a fuck. Like, I would love to have you on my mailing list. I do give a fuck. I would love to have you there. What I mean is, if you just want the meditation and you don't want my emails, that's absolutely fine. Just go get the meditation. Like, that's cool. But I am very open to receiving sign-ups for my newsletters. I mean, why wouldn't you want more of this juicy abundance flying into your inbox on a daily basis? I mean, let's be honest. Yeah. So it's not necessarily about, you know, comparing where I am to where you are. It's really just about, like, what do you even want? What do you want? What does the next level of ease look like for you? And then tuning into that, because it's going to be different for everybody. And my next level of ease is really around this next step, which is building my team. I already have a couple of people who do things well, 3 people who do things for me. So it's about, for me, it's really about like streamlining and allowing them to help me guide that process. I don't have to create as much as I think I have to. I don't have to plan and like pick things apart as much as I might have thought that I did before, right? So that's kind of where I'm at. Allowing myself to receive even more. I'm really good with receiving money now. That's fine. Clients, fine. When it comes to other people supporting me, though, that's where I get a bit like, you want to support me, but I'm the doer. I do all the things. I'm the one who rallies the troops. Like, oh my goodness, I get to be supported as well. And that's kind of where I'm at, is like really integrating that now. You know, even having a team is fucking huge for me. It's taken me like 2 years to get comfortable with. Even having like a VA and people help me with my video editing and stuff, like it's taken me about 2 years to get to the point where I'm like, sweet, I'm happy to just release that and let that go. So for me, as I say, the next step is really about like releasing more control over my back end, if you like. I'm gonna let go of my back end. That sounds a bit rude, doesn't it? But yeah, release, release, release. Let it go in order to receive. I hope that's been of some value to you. I trust that it has, because, you know, only gold pours forth from the mouth of the knoll. If I believe it, then so it is, right? It is done. Right. Here are some things. Our next lunar tapping circle, the next tapping session is on the 1st of October. So get your ass in there before then. All of these links can be found in my link tree, and if you're interested in any in particular and you're like, where the fuck do I find that link, tag me in the comments, like tag me, otherwise I won't see it, and ask me for the thing. So we've got our lunar tapping circle. The next install is coming up on the 1st of October. That's a monthly membership where you get 2 tapping things a month. Hey Grace. The other thing is, if you want to join the business coven, then I would definitely get in the next couple of days, because our next call is on Thursday, so you kind of want to get in before the call if possible. If you want any more information on that, just let me know. I have all the info and all the deets. That's a much higher level offering. I'm holding space for 2 one-to-one access all areas clients. So if you know you want to work with me at the highest level and just have me all to yourself, then I've got 2 spots available for that. And also, coming up in October, we start on the 10th of October, and this isn't on sale yet, but you can sign up on the waiting list so that you're the first who are notified about when the Money Mindset Reset, 30-day Money Mindset Reset, which is one of my signature programs, which is fucking epic. It's the program I have run the most, like, apart from the Spiral, but that's a one-to-one offering. The Money Mindset Reset, if you haven't done it yet, get your ass in there. I still receive messages. In fact, there was someone who was watching this live stream, I saw the name pop up earlier, who messaged me about 3 weeks ago telling me she was still having things show up for her as a result of the work that she'd done in the Money Mindset Reset. So if you've got any stuff around money, and if you don't think you've got any stuff around money, Here's the really fun part. Even if you don't think you've got stuff around money, you've probably got stuff around money. So the beautiful thing about this program is that there's 30 days worth of content. It's drip fed to you one bit at a time so that you don't like go into overwhelm and fritz your system out. But it's a combination of audio drops of things that I was processing, going from, I went last year, you probably know this if you follow my content, but last year I went from multiple 4 figures in debt at the beginning of the year to hitting 6 figures, having savings, investments, and yeah, obviously being very much in the black in my business, which was really very delicious and magical. When I think about it, I'm like, oh fuck, it's kind of, yeah, I was actually quite in debt at the beginning of last year, and yet I managed to, with all this work that I was doing, I turned my shit around and pulled in 6 figures last year. So, you know, and then on track for 6 figures again this year, because I've decided that that's just how it gets to be now. So I'm going to be sharing all of this stuff with you in the 30-day money mindset reset. You get actual real life processes that I went through, journal prompts that I dug into, and I explained to you. It's not just like a journal prompt, like it's all within context, so you'll get like a 2 or 3 minute audio with it as well. There's meditations in there, like channeled meditations. Some of the most powerful meditations I've ever created are in that group. One of them in particular is the root chakra meditation. I think we do on day 3. Absolute, like potent as fuck. The amazing results that people get from that, including upgrades in their sex life and libido. Just saying. Just a bonus of being in my beautiful, juicy, sacral energy. What can I say? But that program is one of the most potent things I've ever created, and it's all mine. Like, it's all, everything I get you to do in there is what I did in order to create the financial abundance that I did last year. So I don't make any guarantees about you replicating that, because obviously your journey is your journey. But it is the shit that I was working, so I might have to finish. Oh, we're back, yay! But yeah, just to finish up, when you sign up for that, you actually get lifetime access, but you also get access to all of the future iterations of the program. So the people who signed up the first time around when I ran it last year, in like June or something last year, have been able to go through it about 4 more times, and you don't ever have to pay again. It's literally just you pay once and then you get access to it forever, and any of the future. And I always do live clearing sessions in. I do at least 2 live clearing sessions per money mindset reset round. So, you know, it's worth it for those alone. If you did nothing else and you just showed up for the clearing sessions, you would more than get your money's worth, because that's fucking powerful shit. Anyway, that's me done for now. If you're interested in any of that stuff, then please do either drop me a comment below or reach out to me, send me a private message if you want to talk a little bit more about some of my higher end offerings. But either way, I'm here for it. Drop me a message. Let's do the thing.